You're listening to Sister Stargazers, celestial and terrestrial observations and advice from two real-life sisters. Welcome, fellow stargazers. Your sisters are in the house. Hello, Jude.
Hello, Sarah. So good to be here.
Yes, awesome. Awesome that we can have this time together. We're now in basically the mid of February. This is episode 23, Sunday, February 13th through Saturday, February 19th. A big week of shifts is how you described it. So let's get started. Where shall we start?
Well, you know that song, Love is in the Air. We can post it. But actually this week, love is in the earth because it's coming out of the ground. It's a groundswell. All week we have Venus conjunct Mars. They're within orb. And they're exact on Wednesday, the 16th of February, with the full moon in Leo. So there's a lot to talk about there.
Okay.
But before we get there, we have Mercury changing signs. So Mercury has been in Capricorn. Remember, it met up with Pluto.
That's right.
And now it's leaving Capricorn and it's moving into Aquarius. So there's new information that we can expect with Mercury moving into Aquarius that will affect the collective, new collective information, taking it to the masses. There's information coming forward that is new.
Okay.
So that will be on Monday, the 14th, Valentine's Day. Happy
Valentine's Day.
And that's cool. This is the coolest thing because Valentine's Day and this week, Mars and Venus are conjunct. So I think that is just so fabulous. I mean, it's just love, love, love for everybody.
And coming out of the earth, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, it's just this big, kind of groundswell is what I sense. It's just this kind of, and they're going to be partnered. They're going to be moving together basically through the end of March. So this is really quite amazing.
Yeah.
So look in your own chart, folks, where Capricorn is and see where 16 degrees Capricorn is in your own chart, because that's where Venus is conjuncting Mars.
You can get a free version of your own chart at
astro.com. Yeah.
And then if you need some assistance understanding your chart, you can reach out to Connected Sister Stargazers and ask Jude what's going on in your chart.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do a reading for you. Yeah.
And is this a good time to say, too, that Mars and Venus are going to have with them within orb Vesta? And
yes.
He's going to be kind of traveling with them for a little bit, too?
Yes. So Mars and Venus are actually at 16 degrees, 58. This is Mars, 58 minutes. And Venus is at 16 degrees, 57 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing.
There's 60 minutes in a degree. So they're really close. They're within 1 arc minute of being exact on the 16th. So basically they're moving into this conjunction. And then Vesta is only 2 degrees away at 19 degrees, 4 minutes. So they are moving towards her. So it's going to be really, it's about, that's a stellium. That's what's called a stellium when these 3 planets are within, basically conjunct.
Yeah.
And it's the combined power of all 3 of them that is propelling this full moon in Leo, which is about self-expression. And the full moon degree is at 28 degrees Leo, which is on our Sabian symbol, Mr. Dane Rudyard's Sabian symbols, astrological mandala. The degree symbol for Leo 28 is many little birds on a limb of a big tree.
Aww.
The keynote is a wide and perhaps confusing openness to a multiplicity of inspiring potentialities.
Wow.
So there's just this opening at this time of this full moon for self-expression, inspiration, potential. There's the support you need. There's the dedication. There might have been some opening that happened at the time of the new moon earlier in the month on the 2nd. Now there's this flowering of it, that there's this continuation or this potentiality that is kind of opening up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really great potential in this chart. There's also a sextile between Jupiter and Uranus, which again signifies that Uranus is the kind of the awakener
Right.
The surpriser, in Taurus, it can be about earthquakes, explosions, the unexpected, specifically around the earth, the unexpected, like a cyclone bomb, like we had this weekend up here in New England.
Yes.
Right. But
yes,
which wasn't quite unexpected, but they really couldn't tell you how much snow. Like they couldn't really kind of pinpoint it.
And Uranus is in Taurus, which is an earth sign.
Yes.
And Mars and Venus are in Capricorn, which is an earth sign.
Mm-hmm. And Mars and Venus are trine to Uranus at the time of this full moon.
So does this go back to this love is in the earth idea, that there's just so much that the earth has things it wants to tell us or share with us? Or
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I would really stay open to signals from your body, from your gut instinct, from the earth, from the trees, from the flowers, animals, birds, like from your critters, your pets. I mean, you might be really able to connect on a deeper level with all of nature. All of what we take for granted as being inanimate,
right,
without life, which is actually full of life, like life is pulsing through that tree or
right.
through that fence post. It's like there is life in every bit of the ground that you walk on.
Yes.
There are potentials, like the full moon degree says, many little birds on the limb of a big tree. You may just start to realize that there's potential all around you and that nature is everywhere whispering.
Yeah. So I pulled a card tonight and
yay. And I always love it when you do that.
And I don't really tell you that I'm going to do it or what I'm going to do.
No, it's always a surprise.
And I just used the Rider-Waite traditional tarot card, but it's the Four of Cups, which is an individual sitting on the ground under a tree, out in nature. And what is coming to this individual but inspiration? And then the cups are there to be filled. There's an offering of something. He's or she, this figure is, you could stay in a meditative state, like ready to receive. So I just want to point out the synchronicity. I'm sure you have other ideas about the card as well, but the synchronicity of connecting in a way to nature, to be open to what might be available to us through nature.
Yeah, we should post that because it's great. That figure is seated cross-legged, and their arms are also crossed. Yeah. So there's this kind of cross of the body, which is also about integration, like of left and right brain. And then they're sitting up against a tree.
Yes.
Which is one of those meditation, I don't know who's done it, but you put your back up to a tree and your spine to the spine of the tree.
Yes.
And you can start to feel the pulsing of the sap or the rhythm of the earth pulsing through the trunk of the tree. And that the cup that's being offered. So basically the suit of cups are feelings. So the cup is coming out of the sky. It's basically the Ace of Cups, right? So there's 3 cups on the ground in front of this person. And then this cup with the hand around it is just in the cloud coming towards him or her.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a gift there. It's awesome. Really well said, Sarah. Yeah. Yeah, we should post that because it's an incredible image. So it's meditation in nature and then really listening, like don't doubt that you're receiving a message, that something is being offered to you.
Fantastic.
We can look at also the Sabian symbol for the sun at 28 degrees of Aquarius.
Which means it's opposite the moon, because when there's a full moon, the moon is opposite.
Yes.
So the moon is in 28 Leo and the sun is in 28 Aquarius. They're opposite each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Sabian symbol for 28 degrees Aquarius, where the sun is a tree felled and sawed to ensure a supply of wood for the winter. So this tree can be useful and practical, but this degree is also talking about the knowledge and skill used in its natural surroundings for satisfaction of vital basic needs. The idea of the tree being not only useful as a meditation, but also that we would be using that as a resource to keep ourselves warm and in an environment where we would need to be warm, where we're working with the seasons.
Yes. Yes.
This degree goes on to talk about the human capacity to prepare for the future and to use both physical strength and mental ingenuity.
Yes. I also want to throw out here the possibility, too, of also honoring the resources we have that do come from nature. So even if we're not literally going out and taking from the tree, almost everything we use, down to the silicon in our phones, is a natural resource. And it feels like this could also be a time of gratitude towards those things from nature that come to us, so that as we're receiving these intuitions or gifts from nature, we're also honoring her back with gratitude.
Yes.
And not being like the giving tree and just kind of take. And then at the end, the stump, bristles up and provides a sitting place for but no, we want to be honoring. We want to sort of be honoring and thanking these resources that are coming our way.
I always hated that book. I really felt terrible after reading it,
Yeah.
There's an alternative now. Did you know that the tree says no?
There you go.
There's an alternative giving tree book. Yeah. He says, stop, no more. I've given you enough.
I've given you enough. Sure.
This does say something about not just taking, but being in some kind of rhythm or honoring the gifts that you're given from nature, and that nature is you. You are nature.
Yes.
So when you're honoring nature, you really are honoring yourselves.
That's it.
This is just a loaded lunation. Should we talk about the degree of Venus and Mars?
Sure, yes. A loaded lunation. That'll be the title of this episode.
Well, this 17 degrees Capricorn, which is where Venus and Mars are on the day of this full moon in Leo, the degree symbol for that is a repressed woman finds a psychological release in nudism.
Nudism.
Nudism. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So the keynote is the escape from bondage to social inhibitions and reliance upon a wisdom of the body.
Wow.
It goes on to say, under the pressure of religions that have created a sharp and unwholesome division between soul and body, society has produced strict codes of values regarding the play of natural instincts and has glorified them under the name of decency and modesty. The growing trend toward nudism, which of course has nothing to do with the pornographic display of one's body, is a welcome protest against the depressing and neurosis-generating puritanism of the past.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, this was 1975. This was good.
But it's everything I think we've just been talking about, reconnecting with ourselves. And by doing that, we're reconnecting with nature. We're letting nature help inform us so that we can come back to what we know innately, because we are a natural thing.
Yeah, we are a natural thing. We are part of the world, and the world is part of us.
Right.
And there is nothing inanimate.
Yeah.
Nothing is dead.
Yeah. Everything has a vibration.
Everything has a spirit.
Yeah. So before we wrap up the week, is there anything else we want to touch on? You want to return to this Jupiter-Uranus aspect?
Yes, absolutely. So Jupiter's in Pisces, and Uranus, of course, is in Taurus. So it can be a bit of a roller coaster. So there's a lot of surprising twists and turns, fear and excitement, big call for freedom. Go with the flow. Go with the flow is the big call with Jupiter sextile Uranus. Sextiles are just really easy, harmonious aspects between two elements, between two signs. So Pisces is expansion. It's dreams, it's inspiration, it's the collective unconscious. It can be also delusions and misinformation and deception. But with Jupiter there, sextile Uranus, it's possible that there's a lot of both delusion and inspiration. And we get to choose,
Right. Yes.
And I think that goes along with this full moon too, like lots of choices, lots of potentialities, which is kind of brings me back to that Sabian symbol of the moon at 28 degrees Leo, many little birds on the limb of a big tree.
Right.
Wide and perhaps confusing openness to the multiplicity of inspiring potentialities. So
inspiring potentiality. Yeah. That sounds like Uranus sextile Jupiter.
And that's your card also.
Yes, right. And then moving out of Aquarius, which is sort of scientific and detached and facts and figures, into Pisces, as you just mentioned, expansion, flow. We can kind of feel into it more.
Yes. So the sun moves into Pisces on Friday the 18th, and then the moon moves into Libra. So by the weekend, we have a bit of a reprieve and just time to just kind of, let it all sink in.
Yeah.
It's a great weekend to take in some music or an art exhibit or to make art.
Right.
With the moon in Libra, to watch a great movie, just to enjoy yourself, just to enjoy company with others, like-minded people, and just kind of hang out. It's a great weekend to just kind of let it all settle.
That might be a great weekend too, because here in the U.S., I think some people have a day off on that Monday as a holiday. So it's even a long weekend. So you can really, really let it kind of hoof.
Yes.
Okay. Well, holy cow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Thank you. Fellow stargazers, if you have questions, comments, you can write to us via email at connect@sisterstargazers. You can leave comments on one of the many platforms where you can find our podcast. Please don't be shy. Let us know how it's working for you. And let us know if there's anything you'd like to know more about, because we would love to do some deep dives around some of these conversations. But until next time, go hug a tree.
Yeah. Or at least sit under one. Sit next to one.
Yeah, exactly.
Sit with your back to one.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I guess we'll see you next week.
Bye for now, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Sister Stargazers. Let us know what worked for you this week. Find us on Facebook and post a comment at Sister Stargazers.